Hi, Namaskar, kaise ahat? So today is the last day of 2024. We are moving forward towards 2025, a completely new year, a completely new beginning. I mean, to be honest, any day in your life can be a new beginning, a new year, but somehow we all have decided that okay, 31st December is the last, and the year changes in Jan. Though according to me, I think it should have been in February, like once all the days are over, the last month will have like the least number of days, and then 1st of March should have been the technical new year, but no, that's not how this works. So anyway, first of all, happy new year. And second of all, I was thinking that all of us are moving forward, all of us, irrespective of if we want to or if we don't want to. Time is this one dimension which you cannot travel backwards, so we are traveling forward. So we're going to talk about the concept of moving on, because we are moving on to the next year. We are moving on from whatever this year had to hold for us. And generally this term moving on kind of comes into picture when people are talking about their relationship, or something that they were together with somebody, and then they had to like come forward and overcome all of that process of feeling bad and XYZ. But generally I think moving on can happen through, I mean, it can be about a situation also. You need to move on from a situation, you need to move on from a phase, you need to move on can be a lot of things. But today we're going to talk about the very generic move on from a relationship or any kind of friend or a people. Basically move on from people that you were once close to. Now I do have a friend who I was talking to recently, and for the privacy purposes I'm not going to mention any names, but I'll tell you a quick story about her, and then we will talk about the dilemma that I had about what should I be telling her. So this friend, amazing lovely girl, and she met with a boy. She absolutely madly obsessively fell in love with him. She was just crazy about him. Okay. And yeah, I mean, at one point even I felt that that guy is like the best person for her, and she believed that he is her soulmate, this whole concept of one true person for the other. But somehow it so happened that the person eventually did not, the guy did not feel the same way, and the guy moved on very easily overnight. I don't even know how that is possible, but yeah, he did. And she was devastated, she was crying, and she was just depressed, like proper depressed, with medicines, popping pills every morning and every night, and having nightmares and things like that. And a lot of her friends, they told her like, why are you still crying about somebody? Why are you still crying about the person who was not sure about you, who did not want to be with you? And a person who you thought was your soulmate, but if that person did not think the same way about you, if that person has already found somebody else, then what is it that that is still holding on? And she said something which kind of stuck with me, something that made me think. She's just like, the thing is, I understand that two people cannot work out, that okay, we tried something, we had feelings for each other, and that didn't work out. But when I see that person go be with somebody else, or I see that person getting engaged or married to somebody else, I just have this feeling where I feel like this person was always capable of that. This person was always capable of that change, or that part where, because apparently this guy told her that he never wants to get married, that he doesn't feel like he's made for marriage, and throughout his life he's always going to be single, but if he ever decides to get married, she's like the perfect one for him, so and so. So she just, when she was talking, she's just like, so when he was telling me all of those things, I just felt like he was not capable of that I did not want to force him, that I was like, okay, I'll wait for you, but when I see him do the same things with somebody else, that just makes me feel terrible. Not because I'm not happy for him, I'm genuinely happy for him, but the fact that he was always capable of those things, he was always capable of that change. It was just that I was not worthy enough for him to change, and that hurts. And when I heard that, it did make sense. But I was like, yeah, that is a thought process. That's definitely a thought process. I did not know what to say. This is where the dilemma came in, but I'm like, I do get her, I do understand her point of view, but what exactly was she supposed to do? And I was like, okay, that is in the past. You move forward. You still go ahead, and you still have a lot to go on for. Like we always say, there's a lot of fish in the sea. But that was a very good comeback from her. She was like, yeah, there are fishes in the sea, but once you have a fish who turns out to be a shark who's bitten you, you don't want to go fishing next time. You're scared. You're scared the next person who comes in is also going to lie, is also going to make you feel like the most special person in the world, and then just overnight going to go and like find a fiance somewhere else. And that fear, how exactly do you get over that fear? Yeah, you can tell yourself that not every person is like that, and all of that, but that fear is very legit. And I don't know, I've not been in the situation, so I did not know what to tell her about all of this, but it did make sense. And overall, I could just tell her that, hey, I think it's time to focus on yourself. What does that mean? What does it mean to love yourself? Now, this becomes a little more complicated. When we say we love somebody or we love ourselves, what exactly do we mean by love? It's a very, very subjective and very complicated thing. Some people say it's a feeling. Some people say it's like, I don't know, chemical reactions, something completely different. Some people say it's your habit, it's a behavior. And I don't know what it is. I don't think any one person can define what love is and it is factually true for the rest of the world. That does not happen. Some people say love is fighting constantly for that person, and until your last breath you don't give up, you still wait for that person. Some people say no, love is about sacrifice, you give it up. But what I realized is, for me, love is about comfort. If I'm comfortable around somebody, I'm comfortable around my mom. I might not talk to her constantly, but I like when she's in the house, right? And I am comfortable around people, and once I'm comfortable around people, I feel like I love them. I feel like I can care for them. I feel like if I'm comfortable enough to be myself around these people, that means that these people hold a very special place. Now comes a question where this is about other people. Am I comfortable with myself? Because that is where the self-love comes into picture, right? Do I love myself? I don't know what love is, but am I comfortable being myself? Do I like being with myself? Now, being with yourself is just spending time alone. By spending time alone, you don't necessarily mean that, I have my Netflix, I can sit and chill alone or read a book. That, I don't think that defines spending time alone, right? What spending time alone would technically mean is you trying to be comfortable with who you are. There are multiple aspects to this. One, being comfortable with how you present, how you look, like your physical appearance. If you're not comfortable with that, I think that's a good point to start the 2025 resolution, where you're like, okay, I'm not comfortable with this aspect of my body. Second comes in your mental aspect, right? So with your mental aspect, where it comes like, okay, I'm not comfortable with overthinking so much. That is causing me harm. I'm not comfortable within myself. I'm not comfortable with myself because I don't know, I am not able to think rationally. Any kind of changes you want to do mentally. The third aspect is your surroundings. Now, surroundings, again, your surroundings can be, are you comfortable with the way you are living your day-to-day life? Are you comfortable with how you're growing? Are you comfortable with what you do throughout your day? And it is basically like a lot related to your upskilling and you trying to learn a new hobby, or just in your work trying to get better. So there are a lot of aspects of being comfortable with yourself. But at the end of the day, if you are confused, because I am confused, right? I don't know how to love myself. I don't know what is self-love. I don't know what is love in itself, right? But what I do know is the problem that causes everything is you are not comfortable with yourself. After this friend of mine, she started doubting. She was like, okay, if this person who said all these things, who said that, If he can leave me, any other person can leave me. What if I'm not good enough? What if, I am never worthy of love? And those things, right? Those things did give rise to her insecurities. These things did give rise to like, oh, what if I'm not good looking? What if I'm not smart enough? What if I'm not funny enough? Blah, 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 whatever. The point is, at the end of the day, she was not comfortable with who she was because she started doubting those things. So I don't know what helps, because every person has a different thing to do to get comfortable with themselves. So for me, being comfortable with myself, physically with myself, is when I start dressing up and actually taking care of myself. It doesn't matter if I look different. For me, just knowing that okay, I woke up today and I put lotion on my body, it doesn't matter if my skin is still dry. It just makes me feel good. It makes me feel comfortable. And when it comes to doing something, right, I might not spend like 7-8 hours or a huge time being productive, but for me, if I just sit for 30 minutes and do something productive, by productive I love coding, I love competitive coding as well. So if I just go to LeetCode and spend 30 minutes, I feel like mentally I'm in a good space, right? And yeah, so every person has like a different way of feeling comfortable within themselves, or feeling or having that feeling of accomplishment, saying that okay, I've done this and I am heading to the right direction. So I think it is important for you to find that direction. It is important for you to find those things that make you believe that you are comfortable being yourself. You're comfortable in your own skin, in your own body, in your own mind, in your own head, whatever it is. If you are comfortable, it becomes very easy to move on from anything in life, very much anything. Like I said, not everything, but like most of the things, right? So if you're dealing with a very difficult situation, if the situation is not going according to you, it is not going according to you. See, it is normal for any human. Your mind starts triggering in the direction where okay, so what could I have done, and what could have changed, and XYZ. So you're not comfortable with the outcome that has come. You're not comfortable with the actions you took, because at that one point, if any person goes like, I did everything I could from my end, I there was nothing that I could have tried more, and it still did not work out, it becomes much easier to accept. So whenever something bad happens, whenever we're dealing with any situation and we are not able to accept that okay, this is what I could have done, or that is what I could have done, it is time to sit and focus on those aspects. It is time to sit and be like, okay, I'm not comfortable because I did not act a certain way in that situation, and now I'm going to. You really cannot turn back time. Like I said, time is a dimension that can only be traveled forward, so you cannot turn it back. So might as well just make sure that next time it happens, next time a topic like this comes up in front of you, you take care of it better. You are more comfortable within yourself to deal with that situation, right? So with that being said, I would want 2025 to be the year where all of us, including me, that is my resolution, that I am going to try to be more comfortable within myself, more comfortable with who I am, and just be who I am without having those regrets, something that I've missed in 2024. I don't think I've been myself as much as I should have. So I hope all of you do have a wonderful 2025, and whatever happens, the bare minimum at least, be comfortable with yourselves this year. With that being said, I shall see you guys next week. Bye bye.